Welcome to Under Two Capes. I am Jared.
And I'm Lad.
And first off, I'd like to welcome back our good friend Tyler. Welcome back, Tyler.
You know, and it really feels good to be back, I gotta say. I mean, I was a sidebar character, and I'm slowly working my way up the plot armor to become the main character. So thanks for having me back on, Jared.
One of these days.
Yes.
Well, we had the red carpet out for Tyler again, all the paparazzi snapping pictures. Tyler, over here. Tyler, over here.
Oh, yeah, thank God. There we go.
Yeah, we're with Lad.
Tyler, we meet again.
Whenever Lad comes, everyone's always like, okay, what's up, Lad? I'm only kidding, of course. But first off, I'd like to address the reason why
we have serious beef between me and Tyler. We just have unnecessary drama that we have with each other.
Yes, and to anyone who's actually listening, good luck trying to follow that stuff.
Yeah. Well, anyway, so first off, I like to say, if you guys were expecting an episode on Friday and were wondering why we didn't put one up, that's just because I gave the workers some time off for Christmas. I'm a good and noble boss.
Yeah, we unionized.
But so we're basically doing that right now. So a couple of things we're going to talk about. This is going to be kind of a crossover with our other show called Mando Nights, which is our Star Wars podcast. And now we're going to talk about Mandalorian Season 2. And then for the Under Two Capes part, we are going to talk about the new Wonder Woman movie, which Tyler's not the biggest fan of for some reason.
A little foreshadowing to that, yes.
All right, let's start with Mando. So we can all agree on. So we'll go around and say, well, what do we think of Season 2? And since Tyler, you're the guest, you can start us off.
Oh my God, I go first. Well, great, because you know what? I got stuff I got to say about that. And you know what? Wow, Disney actually cares about making money. Oh my God. You see, that's what happens when you have Disney, this AAA, whatever, venerable company with Mickey Mouse running it, actually listening to its fans and providing what we want. And you get an amazing show with that. And that's exactly what the season was. Amazing.
All right, Lad.
Yeah, I think it's really impressive stuff built on season 1 and really opened the Star Wars universe up to some new characters that we can visit in other shows, and a sign that maybe, Disney's actually going to be handling Star Wars properly in the future. And there's there's a light at the end of the tunnel, maybe.
Don't worry. There's still time for them to screw it up. All right. Well, what did I think of Mando season? Well, first off, I think they should just give Dave Filoni and Jon Favreau creative control of Star Wars, like, completely. Just hand over the keys of the kingdom. Because Filoni was trained by George Lucas himself. He was trained by God himself. So anyway, all right. So let me go around again. What's your favorite cameo that happened in season 2? Tyler, we'll start with you.
Oh, is this seriously a question? I think I speak for everyone when I can say, it was the certain character that Ryan Johnson had that Disney actually made a lot better with the guidance of probably Mark Hamill, maybe, or
Dave Filoni.
Or Dave Filoni, rather. Yeah, but I think you know where I'm hinting at, where I'm going with this, right?
He had a green lightsaber.
Yes. Do you guys want to look into the crystal ball as to who it is? Come on, I think you don't need Scooby-Doo to figure this out.
It is Luke Skywalker.
That's correct. Yes.
I gotta say, that's mine too. In addition to Boba Fett, because when you think about it, with Boba Fett, we never got like an epic action scene, because we had him in episode 5 where he just stood there and was like, and just stood there and looked cool. You know, episode 6 where he kind of takes a tumble.
Yeah.
And then he shows up in this season. He's knocking stormtroopers like helmets in half. He's shooting people with knee rockets now.
Yeah.
But anyway, my favorite's Luke Skywalker, because it's just this whole idea about, okay, so no one believed that they were going to do this. When the X-Wing showed up, everyone's like, okay, it's the New Republic. And then all of a sudden you see a cloaked figure and I'm like, oh no. Then it's like the green lightsaber. And then they go, it's a Jedi. And I'm like, oh my gosh, they're doing it. All right, so Lad.
Yep.
Your favorite cameo?
Oh man, that's a tough one. Man, I probably have to go with Boba. Honestly, like I've been I really like Bo-Katan and Ahsoka, but like I've been a huge fan of Boba before, like the Clone Wars series started, like back when it was like just, episode 5 and 6, and maybe some of the video games where he looked really awesome in. I just love the look of that Mandalorian armor. And then, they made all these, the Mando himself based off of Boba Fett and all these other things. And I've always loved Boba Fett. He's so cool. And to see him back and like with a new clean look and like post 6 story, and he survived Sarlacc pit, that's just amazing. That's awesome.
A little known fact, Lad's name is actually in the book of Boba.
Really?
It's right there in the front page. Dedicated to Lad Brown, the king of unpopular opinions.
What?
Oh, wait, really? Wait, what?
Mr. Halle Berry Catwoman is the best Catwoman.
Oh,
Mr. Batman and Wonder Woman deserve each other, and I'm like, oh, screw you.
Mr. Ray and Ben Solo deserve each other also.
Yeah, he was a big fan of that scene episode.
oh gosh, I'm not getting.
Raylo. Tyler, it's Raylo all the way. Okay.
How about something even better? I think one that all the fans would love, and just get rid of the sequel trilogy altogether.
And replace it with Revan. Just give us a trilogy on Revan.
Yes, please.
Just give us that. He should be the main. They should do a Knights of the Old Republic trilogy based on Revan.
No, that's a good idea.
I know. Because imagine, and they cast Keanu Reeves as Revan.
And maybe get rid of Kathleen Kennedy too.
Yeah, by the way, she's a character in a Lego game.
What?
She and Ryan Johnson. Lad and I discovered this. Actually, it was J.J. Abrams. She and I discovered this. They're bonus characters in the Lego Force Awakens game.
Oh, well.
And they're just as useful as they are in real life.
Wow, I felt like the Rebel defeat on Hoth with that. That's horrible. Oh, gosh.
But anyway, so let me see. So we'll go around again. Favorite episode. I'll start this time. I think my favorite episode is either the last one or probably, honestly, the Ahsoka episode, because it expanded a lot on the lore. We got Baby Yoda's name, which is Grogu, which I think is hilarious. And plus, there were those scenes where like Ahsoka is like you first see Ahsoka and then it starts playing her Clone Wars theme. And then finally, you can't beat an episode where they name drop Grand Admiral Thrawn. I was like, uh-oh. And it was kind of funny. I was watching that episode with my dad, and he, not as read into Star Wars as I am, goes, who's Thrawn? All right, Tyler, you next.
Well, I think I'll agree with Jared with that, because pretty much confirming all Star Wars fans, like, it's like everyone felt in the Force that, like, once they saw that, it's like, wow, Thrawn's actually canonized and he'll be in. Well,
he was canon because he was in the Rebel series.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
Right,
live action.
To be brought to this show that we're going to probably eventually see him in Mandalore, if not Mandalore, another spinoff show. But that's really good and really telling, because, like, if you saw him in Rebels, he was a mastermind, freaking genius, and it's like he could even maybe possibly, I think, did defeat plot armors at some points within the episode. So he's going to be a real force to reckon with.
I mean, he kind of killed Kanan Jarrus, so.
Oh yeah, see what I mean?
That was an interesting, emotional roller coaster episode.
Thrown all the way.
All right, Lad, your favorite episode?
My favorite episode. That's a tough one. I really like the episode where Mando, Cara Dune, and then Grief Karga went and explored that Imperial base on
the cloning facility thing.
Oh. Yeah, the cloning facility where they kind of like, it was kind of the 4 of them together with also the blue guy, and then they just kind of like infiltrating and trying to find out more about the Empire, what they are doing. I really like that episode a lot, but like I think that's like my number 2. If I had to say number 1 episode, it's probably. Man, that's a tough one. Probably the Ahsoka episode. I really like the Ahsoka episode. That was really awesome. Just seeing her around.
I love how with the Ahsoka episode, it starts off and then immediately they bring in Ahsoka Tano. You're like, oh, they're really jumping into it. It's like all of a sudden you see white lightsabers out of nowhere, and I'm like, oh my gosh, they just did it like that. It's like when Bo-Katan shows up in like the 3rd episode of the season. I'm like, wait, what? But anyway, all right. So let's see what's nothing. So where do you guys think Mando is going? Like, what would you say is it? What's your guys' theory on where season 3 will address? what the season will happen that season.
You know what? He's probably gonna go to the was it Mattel Hasbro headquarters to figure out that, because if you look at the toys, it's probably gonna be a good indication as to where they're gonna go next. But honestly, I couldn't tell you where.
Personally, I think he's gonna go to Mandalore, and then he's gonna fight Bo-Katan, because remember, she wants the dark saber, and he has the dark saber, and they have to fight
to death.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm really kind of wondering what they're gonna do with him also, because Grogu kind of left with Yoda. I mean, Grogu left with Luke.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute.
I saw a special director's cut of the episode. I'm good friends with Dave.
Oh
no,
real
Grogu.
Quickly. I showed Tyler this, and I think I showed you this, lad. But like in the post credit scene for the last episode, they drop a McClunky.
They did. They dropped the McClunky.
That's amazing. I love that.
All right, so go on, lad. I'm sorry to interrupt you.
No. I was saying that I'm okay. So I know for the scheduling coming soon, we have the Book of Boba Fett TV show coming next year, and then Mando season 3 is coming in 2022. That's supposedly what Jon Favreau is currently planning. So we're gonna have Boba Fett, do his stuff with Fenric Shank, I believe.
Shan, yeah.
Yeah, the two of them. So then we're gonna have a little bit of time until Mando comes back, and it'll be interesting to see, because Grogu's gone right now, but it could be that I feel like he may be looking for other Mandalorians, or may have some, like you said, the Darksaber is important. He got the Darksaber. So is he going to start to try to recruit Mandalorians to his cause, or will he be thrown into the politics of Mandalore or something? Might be interesting to see that. And Grogu will probably come back. I feel like the end of the first episode or the second episode, Grogu will come back and Luke will be like, spring break or something.
Spring break. Baby's day out.
Where's Grogu going? To the space orphanage? Where?
Yeah.
But what's kind of funny is that some people point out is that if they keep the original the sequel trilogy canon, then that means and Grogu stays with Luke, then that means Kylo Ren kills baby Grogu.
Oh my God.
I'm like, decanonize all these people.
Yeah,
that'd be hilarious if they decanonize even Rey, and then they forget she even existed. It's like, Rey who?
Rey who? At the end of episode 9, was it, or something?
Yeah. What if what they do, they end since Mandalorians, since the Mandalorian show has been repairing all this damage, watch it be the thing that decanonizes the other movies. Like somehow Luke Skywalker uses he sees the future and he's like, screw this.
Alternate timeline.
Yeah, exactly. Through the world between worlds or something like that.
Yes, yeah. Please do that.
Please do that. That's supposedly the plan.
Oh, wow.
No, I mean, in terms of I believe it's like a rumor that they are trying to decanonize the sequel trilogy.
Oh, please do that.
Please do that. It was so stupid.
Oh.
I feel like they may just kind of ignore the sequel trilogy. They may never decanonize it officially, but they may just kind of ignore it for the most part, because you'll see what's interesting. We had 10 TV shows announced live action, but not a single one of them is in the sequel era. They're all in the prequel.
I think the Rogue Squadron
one
was.
Era.
Actually, lad.
That one's a movie. That one's a movie.
Actually, Lad made a really good point, because as you can tell, I guess Disney, again, as I aforementioned said, Disney cares about money. And where's all that money? It's in the
which is why I said that ever since because remember, all these companies are hemorrhaging money because of the coronavirus lockdowns and everything. And I guarantee you, a certain time period down the line, all these companies, whether it's Disney, Marvel, DC, they'll abandon the woke politics stuff. Because they realize that it doesn't sell money. Even DC is doing that, because they started off going, okay, so we're going to cut down our comic book line. Good decision, because there were too many books.
Yeah.
But we're going to have a larger focus on young adult graphic novels. That doesn't sell. And then now they're starting to turn away from young adult graphic novels. I'm like, okay, good. And then they keep having all these firings, because guess who can't manage the shit or stuff. I'll edit that out. Guess who can't manage stuff? Woke people.
Yeah.
But anyway, so that's basically what I'm saying, because you notice there were many occasions when they could have hit. The only like reference to the sequel trilogies that was made, kind of, is in the episode where Bo-Katan first showed up and Moff Gideon is on a holo call with one of the Imperial officers on the ship, and he goes, "You will have a place in like I think he said the Final Order." That was it.
Not the First Order.
Not the First Order. That's why it's led some people to speculate that he's actually in league with Palpatine. Just something I thought of.
Something.
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, sorry. Yeah.
No, go ahead.
Oh yeah, I wasn't sure if you had like a specific question you were gonna ask us, but I actually had one thing I wanted to discuss about the episode.
Yeah, go ahead.
Like, what do you guys think Moff Gideon is trying to do with Grogu's blood? Because he mentioned the M count, which I assume stands for midi-chlorian, because he was talking about how he's special and everything, and he got what he wanted. They got the blood for the donor or the cloning and anything. What do you think he's doing? What's he trying to do?
Personally, I think he's trying to create an army of Force-sensitive stormtroopers so they can finally hit something.
Mm-hmm.
What about you, Tyler?
Oh gosh, only Dave Filoni ultimately knows, but
our Lord and Savior knows.
Yes,
he has a plan for all of us.
Yeah, he can, or maybe I don't know, maybe just create a whole army of stormtroopers so they hit something. Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah, because I believe that's happened a few times in the canon when they tried to make like Imperial troopers who can use the Force, right? I think at one point.
Yeah, like the Force Unleashed game, actually, I think tried to explore that.
Yeah. Because when you think about it,
yeah, they had a little bit of that. I feel like.
Yeah, go ahead, lad. Go ahead, lad.
Oh no, never mind. No, you're good.
I was saying that because when you think about it, the Empire has been beaten twice by Force users, so of course they'd start to exploit the Force. That's it. Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I see.
All right, so what else can we talk about with? So Tyler, where do you think? Why do you think the Moff wanted Baby Grogu?
That's actually because the script said so. I don't really know. They didn't really explain that too well, did they?
Yeah, there has been some speculation that this is how we get like Snoke and Palpatine coming back, because they're trying to like. I don't know. So Star Wars cloning.
Oh, whatever. It just
However, the point is that somehow we get Snoke and Palpy from this.
Okay.
I hope that they because that's definitely one possibility. I hope that they tie in Moff Gideon with Tarkin and kind of make it that like he's has some connection with him, and he's Tarkin has some sort of crazy plan with Force sensitive abilities, kind of like he did in.
Wait, lad, Tarkin died in episode 4.
Sorry.
He was on the first Death Star.
Grand Moff Tarkin.
Oh, you mean Grand Admiral Thrawn?
Grand Moff Tarkin, not Grand Moff Tarkin. Sorry, yes, Grand Admiral Thrawn.
I think say.
I think I'm hoping. Yeah. No, sorry. I was Grand Admiral Thrawn. That I think. Because I was getting confused. I was saying like Grand Moff, Moff Gideon. I was like Grand Moff. I got all my Imperial insignia messed up. Okay, fine. Thrawn and Gideon. I'll just keep it simple like that. I hope Gideon has a connection with Thrawn, and that like he needs the Force sensitive blood for something. Because I remember like in the original like Heir to the Empire trilogy or whatever, the Thrawn trilogy of books way back in the day. I remember Thrawn was experimenting with some crazy Force-sensitive stuff. He was using it for some crazy scheme he had to almost overthrow the New Republic. So I feel like that could tie in with the story they were mentioning with Ahsoka and Moff Gideon.
Yeah, exactly. By the way, I think Cumberbatch should play Thrawn. Have you seen him play Khan in Star Trek?
Yeah, he's painted blue.
Say what you want about the new Star Trek movies. Him as Khan. I got serious Grand Admiral Thrawn vibes.
I think he could actually pull it off.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Because I really don't know any other actor that could do it.
Because we already cast Keanu Reeves as Rev, and he's already occupied.
Oh.
Yeah.
Let's see, Will. All right, so now here's the question. I get the feeling I know what we're all going to say. Which season of Mando is better?
Ooh.
The latest one.
I guess the latest one.
Yep, I was right.
Yeah,
I gotta say, it's because we think about it. After episode 2, actually in episode 1, it was cameo. I was like, who are they going to introduce? And then actually, technically, the Seismic Charge had a cameo in that episode.
The Seismic Charge.
And they had the greatest sound in all of Star Wars, short of the lightsaber. What? Is that Seismic Charge?
Tyler, what do you think of I'm just a simple man, make my way through the universe?
Oh my God.
Well, I'm just a simple man trying to make my way through the universe.
By the way, Tamara Morrison is 60 years old and he's pulling those stunts.
Wow. That's nuts.
I know.
What? Wow.
So he's played Jango Fett, Aquaman's father, and Boba Fett.
And Abin Sur in the infamous Green Lantern movie.
Infamous.
That was him?
Yeah, Abin Sur. The red faced dude or whatever.
Oh, that was him?
No, I know who Abin Sur is, but hang on. I have to see this.
Yeah. Check it out.
I thought it was a different dude.
I think you told me, Jared. Yeah, pull it up.
I'm pulling it up.
But
talk about this while I do this.
I don't know that.
Yes.
Oh wow, it is Alvin. It is Tamara Morrison.
Wait, the green dude or the red dude?
The red dude. No, not Sinestro. It's the first guy who dies, so his ring goes to Hal Jordan.
Oh, okay. So you can add a green.
For some reason, I thought that was Kelsey Grammer.
I see. I could see that. But what do you think, Tyler and Jared, of having Tamara Morrison reprise his role as Jango Fett / his clone Boba Fett? Do you think that is a perfect fit or what?
There's talk that he is going to play clones in the Obi-Wan series because supposedly it's going to have flashbacks to the Clone Wars.
That dude, I'm sorry. Who's the current one that does the voice? What was his name again? I forgot. Baker? No, not Kenny Baker. That's yeah.
It's Baker something.
It was the guy who voiced the clones from the original or for the Clone Wars. Okay,
D. Bradley Baker.
Yes.
Yeah, there you go.
I mean, sorry, he's okay, but the quintessential, voice of the clones should be, him.
Either him or whoever voiced the clones in Battlefront 2.
Yeah.
The original Battlefront 2.
It's that a thick outback Australian accent, It's I mean, that's the voice for him.
But it's kind of funny. After watching Order 66 and Clone Wars, that line Jango gave Obi-Wan in episode 2 kind of makes more sense. That line where he says, "They'll do their job, trust me."
Yeah.
I was like, oh, okay, that makes a lot more sense now.
Oh, it does.
But yeah, it's so because not only getting Hayden Christensen back, but Tamara Morrison is like Commander Cody, possibly a couple of ARC troopers from the Clone Wars.
Oh.
Yeah.
Like Fives and Echo.
That's cool.
Dude. But how about that Bad Batch trailer? We'll talk a little bit about Bad Batch before we transition to Wonder Woman.
Bad Batch. Oh, right. What, Tyler, what do you think of the Bad Batch?
Basically, did you see the trailer, lad?
Yes, I did, sir.
Oh, my goodness. I got to say, I was not expecting the firepower of that magnitude. I mean, that trailer was amazing. Because I thought the Clone Wars was done, but apparently
nope.
Yep, big plot twist. They surprised us again with the amazing graphics and the characters, and D. Bradley Baker basically talking to himself through the whole season or however long they're going to have it. But so the big question I think that should be on the forefront of everyone's minds is: so does Clone Force 99? Do they participate in Order 66?
That's the
yes
question,
or no.
right?
Maybe in the beginning they do, but then they just sort of branch off and do their own thing. But the thing is, that's way too conventional. And if they do that, I think that's too jaded and contrived.
Well, first off, remember, Clone Force 99 is like super unconventional. So I assume they wouldn't have an inhibitor chip or anything in their heads.
It could be the case, yeah. They also may have not been stationed with Jedi. They're always on secret missions. They may have been, they may have avoided Order 66, and we might not have an answer on that.
Plus, lad, remind me, do ARC troopers have the the chip, the inhibitor chip?
Yeah, because all the ARC troopers move up in the rankings. They all move up in aim rankings and starting from base.
Yeah, but I think it's gonna be cool to see how the clones react to because in the trailer they heavily implied that the Bad Batch is gonna come into conflict with their brother clones, the Regs, if you will.
Yeah, that's gonna be. I'm really interested to see because when we saw in Clone Wars, it's kind of like a modified what we saw in the movies. Where the movies we thought that they were just like kind of like robotic soldiers, but then in the Clone Wars we saw they had feelings and emotions, and they added this whole like inhibitor chip to actually give a plausible explanation for why they turned on the Jedi. And we saw Rex how he said that it just kind of like they controlled us, and then I wanted to hunt the Jedi. But then, so what are the other clones going to react to the post, Order 66? Well, do they feel guilty about it? Do they just go back to normal? Do they stay as like robotic soldiers after doing Order 66? What happens with that? What does the world even look like post Order 60? Post Episode 3? We kind of like have that long gap, 19-year gap between 3 and 4. And right after Episode 3, seeing how the galaxy reacts to the new empire that's been established, that's gonna be amazing.
Yeah, because we'll see the transition period from Republic to Empire, so that'll be really interesting. Maybe we'll see when they'll depict the point at which the Empire started to transition away from clones and into regular soldiers.
Battle of Camino, anyone?
Maybe
yes, sir. Dude, I forgot about. We're gonna have to get that because they're gonna have to explain why they stopped cloning, right?
Mm-hmm. It could just be because the clones started breaking down and they were too expensive to keep up. Because I believe that in the Disney canon now, it's that they started to like run out of Jango Fett's DNA, and then the clones started to waste away, so they couldn't keep up with the Order.
I think that's something like that. Yeah, but
something like that. But let me put it this way: if Dave Filoni's in charge, he'll go with the old canon.
That's right.
Which means at one point we'll get a Revan. At least in Mandalorian, they have to do a flashback to the Mandalorian Wars and then have Darth. All they have to show is him raising the lightsaber with his mask on. That's it.
And then bang, cannon.
And yeah, that's the canon. Yeah.
We'll have to see. I mean, I think something needs to be discussed is that we know the next Star Wars movie, Rogue Squadron. They didn't say specifically, but I think it's like a post Episode 6 movie. It's something like that, right? And so that's kind of like another standalone film like Rogue One or Solo. And then Taika's movie is probably gonna be another standalone film. Right now, they're definitely focusing on the live action series and a couple standalone films. There's no news on a new Star Wars trilogy. But look at this. Do they really want to put a new Star Wars trilogy post, sequel era? I don't think people are ready for that mentally, but also they aren't happy with the sequels. So I think Disney's starting to realize they push away from the sequels. The safest answer is to go to the Old Republic. It has no consequences on the current Star Wars era. You can mess around with whatever you want.
And everyone loves it.
Really want it.
Everyone loves it. If there's one thing that the fans have been calling for many, many times, is a Knights of the Old Republic series or movie. Can you imagine a Knights of the Old Republic style in Clone Wars animation?
Mm-hmm. That'd be sick.
Particularly with the new and advanced animation that we have now.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we certainly have some good Star Wars kind of look forward to. Now we're going to transition to Wonder Woman 1984. Now, just a little warning to the people listening to this episode. Lad and I like the movie. Tyler does not. But Tyler has not watched the whole movie. He's only watched parts of it because he's that way.
Yes.
Whoa.
It is the way.
All right. So first off, we're going to do this way. We're going to try. All right. So Tyler.
Yes.
In as nice a way as possible.
Oh, okay. Yes.
I want you to tell Lad and I what you don't like about the movie, and we'll do kind of a change your mind type of thing.
One of goes. Okay.
All right.
Okay, and we're gonna preface this, people. This is a spoiler alert.
Massive spoiler alert. If you don't want to watch this part, stop the episode now.
Yes, because we're about to get into spoiler territory.
Actually, first, well, Lad and I give our thoughts since we're the only ones who have watched the movie and thus have are in a better position to judge said movie. I guess, Lad, you can go first.
Let's see. So, I thought it was pretty cool. I really liked the story they told with Wonder Woman, like her character development in this movie. Kind of seeing her like be willing to sacrifice was really interesting. That was cool to see her not just like a Mary Sue character like Ray, but like or actually struggle with some problems. I mean, Ray really only struggled with problems like in episode 9. They kind of made up some problems with her, but in the first
struggled with anything. Stop giving her so much credit.
In the first Wonder Woman movie, we actually saw like a well-developed female character that actually had, cool backstory, had struggles, and was trying to be a hero. That was excellent. And so in the second movie, they actually kind of carried through that. I feel they actually she had struggles. She had character flaw that she didn't want to give up Steve Trevor, even if it would meant losing her power, and she had to give him up eventually to save the world. And that was a cool a sacrifice she had to make. I really liked that. The overall action was cool, and there was some interesting location exploring and lore. But I can understand why someone like why Tyler or other people might not like the movie because of its premise it went with like the weird escapism, wish granting, like genie, kind of like almost fantasy.
I think what Lad means is that he can understand why someone who actually watched the whole movie would object to Wonder Woman 1984.
Was that a little jab, Jared?
Yes, it was.
Okay, I want to make that
Go on, Lad.
I can understand why someone might feel like strange about the movie. Like they might like not know how to feel about it, or they might dislike it based on like its premise, the one they went with like weird like wish granting, like like your wish is granted, or the weird like escapism and weird like kind of like almost like alternate reality, like Earth with everything like acting strange, and like I can see why someone wouldn't like that. But like if you can get on board with that, or you can like accept it, then I can see why you can really enjoy the movie then.
All right, my turn. Now, as someone that has actually watched the movie and someone that's actually I would consider myself a Wonder Woman scholar, what I would indicate is that in terms of the wish thing, what that was also supposed to show, if you notice, is that the whole world went to hell just by granting a couple of people their wishes. The whole point of the movie is to say, be careful what you wish for, which I can understand. It's because we have had a generation built up on Disney movies, so the whole I wish thing seems kind of infantile. But let me put it this way: there were a few. In terms of ways to bring Steve Trevor back, I think this was the best way they could have done it, because the other ways just were kind of clunky and just thrown in there, because we knew he was coming back from the trailer release a year ago. And it was like, oh, okay. As soon as I saw the wishing stone, I was like, oh, I guess I could see that. But what you have to understand is that what the wishing thing allowed for is to show what are you willing to like, to have total happiness, to have what you think will give you total happiness. What are you willing to let go of? Remember, Wonder Woman, if she kept Steve Trevor alive, she would lose her powers, because she was shot a couple of times. Let's not forget about that. And traditionally, now it's vacillated in the comics whether or not bullets can harm Wonder Woman, but traditionally they have not. So yeah, that's a big point there. Now, was it a perfect movie? No. Honestly, now that I'm thinking about it, was it better than the first movie? Probably not. I mean, there were certainly parts that I felt were kind of like like when Steve Trevor is in the plane and he knows how to pilot a fighter jet despite being a World War I pilot. But I mean, there are always going to be, in superhero movies, there are always going to be those scenes that are like, that would not happen in real life. It's like, how are they able to fly from Washington, D.C. to Egypt on one tank of gas from an airplane? But regardless of that, if you look past that, the whole story kind of makes sense. Because it's like...
The story makes sense.
Yeah, you give people their wishes. You saw what happened to the world.
Mm-hmm.
When you think about it, there's a subtle subplot. So, lad, I found out because you and I were having a discussion about this. So Bruce Wayne was about 12 or so during this story. And we know his parents died when he was like 7, I think. So what that would indicate, or like 9 years old, so what that would indicate is that he wished for his parents to come back. Then when Wonder Woman convinced everyone through the lasso of truth to recant their wishes, he had to essentially kill his parents again.
Oh.
So you can imagine the psychological trauma on that.
Oh my God.
This is Batman we're talking about.
Not kill them. You mean to let them go.
Let them go. So the wish thing also kind of served as a transition point to get Wonder Woman, because to that point, she wasn't fully Wonder Woman yet. Like, she wasn't fully the superhero that we know and love until she went through this whole wish experience, because she learned to put the interests of others above her own. That's why she had to recount the wish. And that's why when she took back the wish for Steve Trevor, she was able to fly without a jet or anything, and she got the golden armor. I mean, I'm sorry, go ahead, lad.
Oh, yeah. I was just thinking that the gold armor was awesome.
Yeah, the gold armor was amazing, because what's interesting about that golden armor is that's her like end of the world scenario armor. So I guess it was fitting that she hopped in that, and it was fitting that when she showed up, you could see the wings kind of flapping. Tyler,
yeah.
I'm looking on his face right now. But did you really not like that movie, Tyler?
Oh, is that my cue, Jared?
All right, that is your cue.
You see,
Give the man the microphone. Give the man the microphone.
You know, like Thanos. I am inevitable. Yes, and you have no choice. Well, anyway, I don't know where to begin, because I get pretty.
Just try and keep it PG.
Okay, I'm pretty like animated, as you could probably tell, and I'm a pro.
And just so the listeners know, Tyler's in physical presence with Jared. So if you hear strangling and like a fight breaking out, okay?
Don't worry. If you hear Tyler screaming like a girl.
Anyway, so what did now granted, I saw it in segments, because I didn't watch the whole thing.
You didn't see the whole movie.
But I feel like I didn't have to, because, I saw the beginning of the movie. I felt like there was a lot of long, drawn out parts. I was like, is it over yet already? Like, I'm looking at my watch, like, okay, hurry up. I kind of get the drift here. They're fighting, or they're talking. Yeah, yada, yada. Anyway, we can start from the beginning, which was, I think, the Olympic sort of like scenario they had going on. And they're like an Amazonian culture, and they're all about like bred for war and killing, right? So anyway, like in the end of the race or whatever they're doing, like this girl from out of, I don't know the name, okay? I don't know the
It was her aunt Antiope from the first movie.
Oh, what was her name?
Antiope.
Penelope? Cannoli?
Antiope. Antiope. However you spell this in Greek.
Onomatopoeia. Okay. So anyway, this girl.
It's her aunt. That's all you have to know.
It's her aunt. So anyway, her aunt like just comes in, grabs her arm, is like, Diana, I can't look at this face. And I'm like, wait. I'm like, what the heck are you talking about? Like, well, Diana, you must. And then she goes into this TED talk about truth and love. Oh, cry me a river, give me a Subaru. I don't care about that. This, like, they're oh, sorry. Calm it down. I see. I Jared is okay. Anyway, take it from the top. So she comes out of nowhere, yanks Wonder Woman's arm out of the race, and she says, like, Diana, you can't do this. And I'm thinking, what do you mean she can't? War isn't fair.
Wait. Remember, this is coming from a culture who one of their things, one of their idols essentially is the lasso of freaking truth.
Oh, well, you know.
Remember that.
Oh, remember
They're
that.
supposed to personify truth.
Okay, I remember that.
Whether or not you agree with that personification, with that little glorification, is irrelevant in this case.
Okay. Okay. So, all right. So then we go through a little bit of the movie. Then we see Maxwell Silverhammer or Maxwell Coffeehouse do that.
Maxwell Lord.
Oh, wait. He kind of looks like Donald Trump. And he's like, I don't know. The guy's got like a mental screw loose or something. But at least you kind of know that he likes his kid and he's kind of doing what he's doing is for his kid. And I get that. That's a nice message. And I'm kind of piecing this together. It was just really weird and disjointed, but I think the overall theme or the overall thing is I think this movie was made by some 3-year-old kid. Cause you know what? I'm gonna wish this and I'm gonna wish that. Like, really? They couldn't have like had an in-depth villain like that was like Lex Luthor or something, like playing 4D chess.
First off, Lex Luthor is a Superman villain. Wonder Woman really doesn't have, because let me put it this way. The only villain who could have played 4D chess with her, per se, she killed in the end of Wonder Woman 1.
Okay, well, anyway, they had some, like, weird fetishes in this movie, too, because then, like, you had this one girl who was, like, a nerd, and then she goes from, like, nerd to, like, hot, super fun.
Because she wishes to be like Diana.
That's right. And then all of a sudden, she's like, I want to be number one. I want to be an apex predator. And then she turns into a furry with, like...
Because that's the character. That is actually the character she is. See, this is what comes with actually reading the comics before you judge a movie.
Okay, well, anyway, she turns into this furry, like from the Comic-Con.
She's a cheetah. She's the cheetah.
She's a cheetah. Yeah, she's been cheating on her boyfriend or something. Well, anyway, what else I was thinking? Yeah, I just felt like it was I mean, hey, don't take it by me. Just go to Rotten Tomatoes or something, and you can see.
Rotten Tomatoes has been wrong many times. By the way,
check another one. Check another.
That's who she is supposed to be. By the way.
Oh wow, that's very interesting. Nice.
I showed him a picture of the cheetah from the Justice League comic. So.
But yeah, needless to say, what I thought about this movie is like I just thought it was really weird, very clunky, very long at times, and it's like we didn't get to the action until maybe. Way later on in the movie.
That's a fair point. That's a good point. I did feel like action was a little bit on the low side and more like dialogue, which I can understand. Yeah, that might be kind of frustrating for a superhero film.
I've heard it being said that this was about mainly Diana, not necessarily about Wonder Woman, which
Yeah, that's a fair point.
Because we have to realize that with superheroes, there's them as their hero self, then there's a secret identity part. They've had storylines.
Marvel wants to know your location.
Yeah, they've had storylines where they've just focused on Clark Kent as a character as opposed to Superman.
I just felt like the whole thing was weird.
Great. Okay, that's
no. I mean, like wishes.
No, okay. I mean, but Jared, remember what I said in the beginning? Like, I can how I broke it down. Like, I can definitely see why. You could say that it was really weird, you know, like it just the wishes, you know, like if you don't get down with the wish thing, I can see how you might like completely dislike the movie altogether because it's just really weird, like almost like juvenile, I guess, if you don't take the wishes the right way.
Yeah, but I think you get what I had to say about the movie. But hey, I mean, maybe if they had another villain or something that didn't, I don't know, but maybe it could have been better.
We'll see, because I know they're making a Wonder Woman 3. Supposedly Wonder Woman 2 had issues because there was lots of studio interference. So any criticism that you have there could have been due to, because remember, studio interference is what led to the theatrical release of Justice League. Remember that. We're just now in March 25th getting the actual movie.
Snyder's Cut?
Yeah, Snyder Cut is coming March 25th on HBO Max. Wow. We're all going to watch it.
Yeah.
The whole 4 hours.
4 hours long?
Yes, exactly. You thought Endgame was long.
Oh my God.
Oh, trust me. Snyder is the type of director who doesn't take forever to get to action. It's interspersed.
4 hours long?
Yep,
wow.
4 hours long.
That's a long movie.
It's either going to be as one long movie or like individual episodes. It looks like they're leaning back toward the one movie, which I'm fine with that. I'll sit there and watch it for 4 hours.
Break out the pizza.
Yeah, exactly. We'll do a whole marathon. But anyway, yeah, Tyler, you raised some valid points. It's the reason why I said it's not a perfect movie.
Oh, you're right about that, Jared.
In no way is it a perfect movie, and probably the first one is better. But I'm saying it's not a horrible. Well, let's put it this way: Rotten Tomatoes has been wrong about the vast majority of movies they review. Batman v Superman, majorly they were wrong because they complained that it was too dark, and I'm like, it's Batman.
Maybe, you know what? Maybe
they gave Captain Marvel like a 90%
Wow.
Let's not forget about that. That should tell. They gave Black Panther a 90%.
Wow, that's
that should tell you all you have to know about. They gave the sequel trilogy all like high praises. That should give you all you have to know because what Rotten Tomatoes does is they cherry pick all the based on the movies that they like. They cherry pick all the best. In other words, they flood those movies with positive reviews. They only post the positive reviews, and sometimes they make them up, or they'll just flood any movies that you and I like with negative reviews.
Wow, you see, this is what I mean. DC missed the mark because I think we know who the true villains are.
Yeah. Have you seen? In case you want to make sure you understand that, look at any of the reviews from like any of the classic military movies like Lone Survivor.
Yeah,
they don't get good reviews.
True.
That should tell you all you have to know about Rotten Tomatoes.
Yeah, I guess.
Which itself is a rotten, yes, I said it, website. But anyway, I don't want to get into a whole diatribe of Rotten Tomatoes. That'll be a whole other episode. But yeah, it's like going back again. I mean, well, let me ask you this, Tyler. Were there some cool parts for Wonder Woman for you?
Let me think.
Is it really that hard?
I thought the Secret Service guys were cool because I got like a military like. I love the military and whatnot. So anything that I saw with the military, anything involved in it was pretty cool.
The golden armor. Did you at least see the golden armor?
Oh yeah. Speaking of the golden armor, that cheetah chick, like she just ripped through that thing like butter. Like what the heck?
Not the armor, the wings.
Oh, the wings.
Because the wings are supposed to serve as a shield, and what that's showing is how powerful the cheetah is when she's in her cheetah form.
Oh, you know what? I think Wonder Woman should return it back to Hasbro wherever she got it from. Because dude, I mean, those wings were just falling off. I mean, just bad.
Yeah, that's a fair point. But it was for effect.
It was for effect to show how powerful the cheetah is. Because remember, you can have any of these characters that seem invulnerable. The one vulnerability they have is magic.
Magic.
And that's kind of what gives the cheetah her powers. Magic.
Oh, yeah. So it wasn't a nuclear like reactor or something like that.
No, it wasn't a Bruce Banner.
Oh.
She doesn't become a cheetah whenever she has an urge to run.
Anyway, she's got some weird kinks.
So in conclusion, okay, so Lad, on a scale of 1 to 10, where would you rate the movie?
I'd say an 8, somewhere between 8 and 9. I like it.
Yeah, me too.
Whoa, that's like almost perfect movie. Are you sure about that, Lad?
No, it's not, because it's taking into account
I was.
Go ahead, Lad.
Yeah. I mean, okay. And if I'm being honest, I'll give it a solid 8 out of 10. And because I was down with the dream stuff, I mean the wish stuff, and like some of the stuff that happened, it was really cool. I liked how Trevor was handled. There was some issues I had with it, but I'd say 8 out of 10. I mean, I'd give it an 8 out of 10.
I agree.
I'm just not that picky of a person. I'm usually pretty cool with movies unless they have something I just really dislike. But
Tyler just hand signaled to me that he gives it a 10 out of 10.
No.
Okay.
No.
He said like a 6 out of 10, which I think is pretty generous.
No. I was saying that's why I thought that's what Lad would rate it. But no, he did 8.
How would you rate it?
Me?
Out of 10.
I give it a 4.
All right, that's just you.
Actually, no, 3 to 4.
Wow.
That's just you. Yeah. He is really brutal. Jeez.
Yeah, very brutal.
Tyler is representing.
I have one more question.
Tyler's.
Is it better than Captain Marvel and Black Panther?
Yes.
There you go. That's all I care about. Go on, Lad. What was your question?
Tyler speaks for all of us when he gives his rating of Wonder Woman 1984. He speaks for the entire mindset of the Under 2K podcast. with
Well,
his 4 out of
he
10.
speaks for those that don't watch the full movies. That's what he speaks, and don't read the comic books. So he didn't even know that that's what Cheetah actually looks like.
Yeah, she's got some problems. Like, wow.
All right, let me ask you this, Mr. Genius moviegoer.
Yes.
Say, so you know you have to bring back Steve Trevor. How would you do it then?
I don't know. Through a Ouija board and some pentagrams, baby.
But he comes back demonically possessed. He has to come back normal.
Oh, well, magic. Because there's no other way you can bring him back.
That might actually be a good idea that might have been a good idea to in a way to bring in the Justice League Dark, but
I mean, dude, he was enjoying his afterlife and then he was just plucked from it. Like, what are you guys doing?
who said he was in the afterlife?
Where was he? Is he dead?
Well, he was dead. He's dead. He's definitely dead.
Yes.
He's definitely dead. But so all right, so lad, if you couldn't do the wish, how would you bring back Steve Trevor?
That's a tough one. I mean, there was something that my siblings had mentioned when we saw the first movie, that when he first arrived on Themyscira, he was, he was like bathing in the waters or something. Not in the beach, but like underground. Do you remember?
The healing waters, yeah.
Yeah, like healing water, and how like they could say that those were like the fountains of some sort of fountains of restoration or something from something like that, something from the comics or something, like a fountain of youth of sort that saved him.
For that to happen, they would actually have to get his body from the burning plane and place it in the Lazarus pit.
There's nothing left of him.
Yeah, I know. It's not like he gets in there and then he's immortal the rest of his life.
Is Wonder Woman immortal?
So she is, because
she is immortal.
Blessed by the gods. It's estimated that by the time 84 takes place, she's like 3,000 years old.
What the hell?
Yeah, I know. And Superman's all into those older women. Trust me. I mean, if I had to bring back Steve Trevor and I couldn't do the wish, what I would have done is made it actually a trick by one of the gods and made the gods one of the villains. Because that's the way I thought it was going to be. I thought it was going to be like the god of tricks, or it would be Ares. He wasn't really dead, because let's be honest, no superhero villain is ever truly gone, as long as we remember them. He would come back, impersonate Steve Trevor in order to destroy Diana.
Mm-hmm.
So that's kind of the way I thought it would go. But I mean,
yeah.
Once again, Lad and I are okay with the wish thing. It's only Tyler that's a party pooper, despite not watching the full movie.
Do a poll.
This is not a democracy. This is not. Lad and I rule here. You have no power outside the Star Wars podcast.
We're talking about viewers. I have no power here. Jared's a complete dictator, and I'm enslaved to him.
No, I don't.
I are enslaved.
No, I don't.
Tyler, we should unionize and revolt against Jared.
I give you water. I give you water and a tray of food every morning under your cell.
Oh.
I'm only kidding. I'm only kidding, of course. But anyway, so I guess that'll call for the night. We had some good agreement and then immediate disagreement.
Oh, that's right.
But I mean, hopefully, what we should do is I want to show Tyler at a certain date. I want to show him the theatrical cut of Justice League, and then show him the Snyder cut.
Oh boy.
I want to show him CGI lip Superman.
Oh no.
I want to show him Batman happy. I want to show him the Flash landing in Wonder Woman's boobs. I want to see how he reacts to this, and then to see and then ask him which was better. Because like this way, are you like a Zack Snyder fan, or is he like not really your favorite guy to direct superhero movies?
You know what? I have no idea. You just have to show it to me.
Yeah, sure. Well, I thought. Well, let me ask you this: did you see BVS?
PBS?
Batman versus Superman.
Kinda.
What is with you and not watching movies?
I watched kinda. I saw some like scenes from it on YouTube.
What was your opinion of Man of Steel?
Which one was that?
The first one with Henry Cavill as Superman.
Oh. Surrender Man?
Surrender Man.
Yeah, isn't that what the S stands for?
It stands for hope,
Oh,
but
Hope starts with H, stupid.
that was a YouTube video, but that was so good. I'll show you that one. It's so good. But yeah. So yeah, I mean, we'll see, because I want him to see Joss Whedon's version of Justice League, affectionately called Justice League. Yes, and then we'll do a full review of it. But anyway, remember, folks, it's okay to have unpopular opinions as long as they agree with mine. I'm only kidding. I'm only kidding. It's okay it's okay to be different. It's okay to have differing opinions, because that's what makes this country so awesome.
That's right.
All right, everyone. Lad, always a pleasure podcasting with you.
Yeah, no, it's lots of fun.
Tyler, thank you for coming on and being respectful.
Why, thank you, sir. It was great to be on the show.
I'll be sure to have the paparazzi
Yes.
show you out. All right, everyone, stay heroic. Bye-bye. Have a good week.